You guys hear that crying? Yeah, that's Risa. She's crying. Oh my goodness. It breaks my heart every single time. Oh, but we have some beautiful things to plant out in the garden. I have a bunch of spring crops that I started from seed that I want to get planted out today. I don't see any frost in our next 10 days, so it's just about time for us to get things started. I also have some little cloches to put on things just in case we do happen to dip into some of those colder temperatures, because it's Colorado and the weather here is so unpredictable. They will tell you you're not expecting a freeze, and then in 2 days you're expecting a freeze. And this is what we have to work with. I have 3 things of celery. There are a bunch of celery plants actually seeded together, so I probably need to separate them out. I also have probably what I'm most proud of, the healthiest looking onion starts I have ever done. Like, look at the size of those. Look how healthy these look. These are yellow Granix onions. I also did Alyssa Craig onions. You can see I went really heavy on those. I'm really excited to grow these. They're supposed to be really massive onions. Those are Alyssa Craig onions as well. I also have 2 Romanesco broccoli plants because I have never grown Romanesco broccoli and I've always wanted to. I thought that it looks so pretty. And then I also have giant Sapero cabbage, which these are supposed to be really massive cabbages that I'm going to plant over near the pear tree. I've never grown a massive cabbage before, but this year is our year. And then the last thing that we have to do is sow some carrot seeds as well. I have a ton of different types of carrots. Rainbow carrots, red cord shanty, Danvers half-longs, scarlet nantes. We have purple carrots, black carrots, rainbow carrots. You name it, I have the carrot. I like carrots, what can I say? And then we have what is probably my favorite thing from the Dollar Tree. These cloches, these save me every single spring because the Colorado weather is so unpredictable. And these act as mini greenhouses. You can literally put them over your crop. They have 3 holes on the sides of them so that you can staple them down with landscape staples so that they won't blow away. And I love the fact that they have a little vent hole so that you can vent it and have fresh air getting to your plants, because these will heat up really fast in the sun. And you guys can see, it is very sunny today. I think I'm gonna plant some onions along the edges of this bed, in the front and along the sides, but not in the back, because Matt said he wanted us to plant okra in the back to keep it out of my walkway this year, which I'm gonna give him whatever he needs to not have okra encroaching into my walkway. And then I think I'm gonna use some of these beds as well for onion plants, because why not? I think this could be really pretty with onions growing on each side. Normally I do flowers, but I think I want to put my flowers somewhere else this year. And if you're in zone 5, now is definitely the time for you to start planting your onions and your potatoes, any type of root vegetable. You can plant lettuce seed now. There's a lot that you can do now. It's really time for you to start your spring garden if you're in zone 5. Okay, first things first, let's clean off this bed. I have to work with like an empty space. My brain doesn't work with like this much stuff here if it's not actually gonna go here. Carrots I am gonna sow in the front, so cabbages are gonna go under the pear tree. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sow carrots and maybe some onions along the perimeters, and that's it. And I think back here we'll do the yellow Granix onions. I'm so proud of these onion starts. I have to give you guys a close-up. Look at those roots. And onions are really easy to kind of just tease out from each other. They're really easy to just grow them in a clump, and then you can separate them out and just plant them out as little shoots just like this. This looks absolutely perfect. And that was 12 onion starts. Yay! So 6 for each side. Maybe it wasn't 6 for each side. Maybe it was 5 and 6. I can't count. And I'm gonna make sure that when I plant these, I plant them next to an emitter hole. Our drip is not turned on yet, just because we do have a risk of having another freeze here. You know, it's never safe in Colorado, honestly. I'm gonna have to go ahead and hand water these, but I wanna make sure that when the drip system does get turned on, I will be able to stop hand watering these. Onions, anyone? Now it's time to sow carrots. This is gonna be super easy. I thought I was gonna do labels for all of these, but I think I'm just gonna chaos sow them all over the front of this bed. Carrots like to have a little bit of an environment where they are shaded in order to germinate. So you can either place cardboard on top of the soil for them to germinate, or what I'm gonna do is probably grab some leaves around my property and just sprinkle some leaf mulch across the top of this soil just to keep the soil damp. They really need a lot of moisture in order to germinate. And I've just noticed that if I cover my carrot seeds, I get better germination than if I don't. So I'm gonna make sure to cover these with some leaf mulch. Yeah, I would care about what variety each carrot is, but truly I just don't, because I already know what my favorite carrot variety is. It's the Scarlet Nantes. They have the best flavor to me, but I love to grow all different types of carrots just because I love the different colors and dishes. So we'll just sow all of them. And I know I'll probably need to, maybe I'll sow half the packet in order to make me not have to thin as much. This is so much fun and way easier than having to do like labels and each individual variety. If you truly don't care, why do all that? And I truly don't care. I'm gonna top this soil with just a light layering of compost and then a little bit of leaf mulch, and that should be good. That's about all the leaves I want to use. I just want to do a nice little light layer. Nothing that's too thick that would stop seeds from germinating, but just enough to help aid in soil moisture retention. All right, next up, let's plant up this cabbage and broccoli. And I'm thinking over here in this shaded area from the pear tree will be amazing because brassicas like a bit of shade in order for them not to bolt. And nothing else grew well there last year. I grew dahlias here last year, and it was terrible in this little spot. My whole field was beautiful all the way down except for this little spot. So let's fill it with some majestic cabbages. So I'm just gonna find an emitter, move away the mulch, dig a little hole, and plant. And then the last step is going to be go ahead and get a cloche over it to cover it and staple that down on all three sides. Just like that. And we'll leave that vent hole open so that any additional heat can escape from it, and it'll make watering a lot easier because I can just put my little watering spout in there and water that. Let's go ahead and plant the other one and the 2 broccoli plants as well. Same process. So satisfying, at least seeing something here. We've got a couple of little green sprouts growing on. Spring gardening is always so nice because it's just like full of optimism. The season's just starting. No pests have come, no problems have come. life is good. Now it's time to plant the broccoli, and I think we're gonna plant that on the side of my home in the raised beds because I did that last year and it did really well. I separated out those celery plants. I have 10 here. I've got another 3 in this bed. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this bed. So that's like 19 celery plants. And I still have this whole cup of celery that's like all celery starts. I honestly think I'm gonna put this in a window box. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't have anything in there. And at least this will be something green for spring, and we'll eat on it. Yeah, I don't care what anybody has to say about my celery window box. At least there's something in this window box. And I mean, it won't be in here for long. We'll definitely pull this stuff out around May, and then we'll fill this up with some beautiful petunias. But in the meantime, it just adds a little bit of something green, and it gives me something to look forward to watching grow, which isn't that the whole point of gardening? Thank you guys so much for watching this little video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you planted for spring already, because I'm genuinely curious. Have you planted anything? And if so, definitely let me know what, because I want to know my missing things. You know what I mean? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Bye, guys. We also sowed lettuce seeds. We did do that. We did that in these troughs over here. There's lettuce in that one, and that one. Actually, one has spinach in it. Matt did it, so I'm not really sure, but do that as well, you guys. Bye. And don't forget to water everything in. Risa, no, you can't eat the onions. Hi, you guys. I was at the grocery store, which is actually quite an unusual occurrence because we have Walmart Plus, and I just have literally everything delivered. So I can't not tell you the last time I really had like gone through a grocery store, but it was so nice to actually go through their flower section, and I saw these gorgeous orchids. And I absolutely love orchids. I've always wanted some for my house, but I always tell myself no, because they're always like $25 each, $20 each. And I'm always just like, no, you don't need to spend that extra money when you're at the grocery store. Your grocery bill is already too high. Like, don't do that. But these were on clearance for $4.40. I was absolutely shocked, so I bought 2 of them, and I thought that they would be pretty to go in this little low bowl. I'm just gonna keep them in the soil that they're already in, because I know orchids like a very particular type of soil, and we're just gonna unpot them from them and just kind of nestle it in there. Hopefully we won't need any additional soil, because I don't have any for orchids, and I think we can make this work. That's why I picked the low bowl. Plus, I think this will be a good look. And I love that for $4.40, not only do I get the orchid, I also get these nice little stakes and clips to tie them up. You get this nice little pink pot, which is ceramic, but you also get a clear pot, which if you've been following my channel, you know I absolutely love a clear pot. Orchids are, what do they call it? Epiphytic? Epiphytic, I think that's the word. If not, I'll have to Google it and I'll have a correction up here. But pretty much they don't like to grow in soil. They like to grow like on land or on top of soil or like in rocks, which is why you can see this soil is very chunky, and you can see the roots of an orchid are very, very big. It's almost kind of like a giant air plant, to be 100% honest. Go ahead and take it out of this pot. And my goal is just going to be to kind of splay the roots downward and splay this all down a bit. I think I'm going to have to mix in some soil to this too. I thought maybe we could make this work, but I don't think we can. I'm sure the orchid lovers out there are like, oh my God, he's destroying the orchid. I'm doing my best, okay? Okay. wow, these were grown in like a plug, like a cocoa core plug. Now that I have all that soil, I'm just gonna add some of my potting soil and kind of mix it into this to kind of bulk it up just a little bit. Hopefully that's okay. Hopefully you guys don't die on me because of this. I don't think you will. I mean, you just like really, really good drainage. And what I'm gonna do is go add a little bit of perlite to this too, to just add a little bit of extra drainage as well. Yeah, that's nice and chunky with all those orchid bark chips. I think that's what they call it, orchid bark or some type of bark. Now we can maybe place these in there. These roots are so long. That's really pretty. Yeah, I really like it. I think that that is so pretty, actually. I mean, for those being on clearance, they sure are bringing me a lot of joy.